All right, folks, welcome back. So this is The Biggest Secret, Robert the Bruce, part 2. Disclaimer, as always, under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use, yada, yada, yada. Landing in Scotland. So many Templars on the northwest coast of Scotland. Along this coast, many Templar graves and relics have been found. The Templars also settled in Argyll. They were soon to play a crucial part in Scottish history. The people of Ulster. So in the years before the Templars arrived, Robert the Bruce's campaign against the English had been pretty disastrous. He was forced to seek refuge in Perthshire and Argyll. From there he headed for Ireland. Bruce had connections with Ulster. The people of Ulster have long political and blood associations with the Scots. The Battle of Bannockburn. With support from Irish noble families, Bruce returned to Scotland in 1307, the year of the Templar Purge in France, and he soon found himself fighting Edward II. Bruce's campaign gathered momentum thanks to the Templars fleeing France, and it culminated in the Battle of Bannockburn on John the Baptist's Day, Nimrod's Day, June 24th, 1314. The Knights Templar. So the Scots routed the English after a day of battle when a force of unknown horsemen arrived to support the Scottish ranks. The English panicked and ran at the sight of these reinforcements. They had to be a special fighting force, and they had to be immediately recognizable. The Templars were both, and this unknown group had to be the Knights Templar, who had now regrouped in Scotland. Sir William Sinclair of Roslin. So the victory at Bannockburn would ensure the independence of Scotland, and among those who fought with Bruce that day was Sir William Sinclair of Roslin. When Bruce died in 1329, the Stuart dynasty began. In France, in Merovingian times, they appointed mayors of the palace to support the monarch, and from the time of King David I, Scotland had installed a similar system. Robert II of Scotland. So they were called royal stewards, and these positions became hereditary. It later changed to Stuart, and from this line came the Stuarts. As with the Merovingians, the hereditary mayors or stewards even, to the official royal line eventually became the royal line themselves. This came after Bruce's daughter married Walter the Stuart. Upon Bruce's death, the first child of this unison became Robert II of Scotland. Unchallenged King of Scotland. So when Robert the Bruce was installed as the unchallenged King of Scotland, he signed a pact with Charles IV of France, renewing the old alliance. This was no surprise, given that the bloodlines which controlled Scotland, including Bruce and the Sinclairs, came from France and Flanders. So, rather a short presentation, but, interesting getting that perspective on things from David Icke, who pays very, very close attention to lineage and bloodline and ancestry and things like that. So, like I say, when you compare and contrast this with when Scotland was Jewish, you get two different perspectives, two very different perspectives in many ways on the same thing. But there are parts where they do kind of interconnect and overlap one another. So I think you need these different sources and these different authors and these different perspectives to really gain the whole picture, gain the complete vision. That, like I say, it's like a tapestry. You put it all together from different sources which in some ways can be radically different and in other ways can be rather similar. The one point of agreement is the Templars. That is indisputable at this point, that the Templars came to Scotland and were probably involved in the war on the Bruce's side, and probably would have lost the war without the Templars. What's missing here on Icke's end is the involvement of the Jews, because they were the ones who brought the Templars over. It would have been nice if he'd included that part. The Templars didn't just decide to come to Scotland randomly. It was the Jews who'd been kicked out of England who made contact with the Templars in France and told them to come over here. That's a crucial thing that's kind of overlooked here. But apart from that, pretty interesting. Anyway, leave your thoughts and comments below. And see you next time.